Yo. Check one, check two. Hey yo, smash up the likes, baby. If we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 USDT. We have 180 people in the house. We just need to 10x leverage our viewers. You took along at 91K. All right, y'all, we are live this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. God bless everybody in Jesus' name. In Yeshua's name, I pray you are super blessed, as Bitcoin right now is probably in one of the most volatile situations we have ever seen in all of history. As you can see, the price is on a total roller coaster, up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. What is going on? Well, we are here to answer all your questions and more. So make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Like the channel, subscribe to the video, because we're bringing you the juiciest dang Bitcoin updates here. Are you kidding me? We have a trash mic. Are you freaking kidding me? Let's check it out. Let's test what's wrong with the mic. I literally did a stream this morning with this mic with no problems. So let's see what the problem is now. Let's see. Let's see. Is it too hot? Is the mic too hot? Is that the problem? Doesn't sound that bad to me. It's just clipping a bit. I just gotta lower the gain, man. There we go. There we go. It's a good mic. My good friend Mike. There we go. Yeah, it's all better. Yeah, come on, guys. You guys are freaking me out in the chat, man. You guys are freaking me out. You guys are making me sniff my own armpits. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever smelled in my life. I haven't showered in 3 months. Relax. My goodness. Bro, who did this to your hair? Yourself? Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I did this to myself, man. Why? You don't think it looks good? Put a 1 in the chat if you think my hair looks amazing. And put a 2 in the chat if you think it looks like I just did it myself. Alright. Cool. Alright. Guys, Bitcoin is coming up to none other than the top of the range. Alright, setup given yesterday in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Fake out of the high of the range, guys. One of the most classic setups in the world. Looking for a 1 hour, 24 minute, 12 minute, 6 minute bear div. Money flow coming lower. On the 24-12, we come over to market Cipher B. And what do you see? As we come up to the dang range high, 1 hour market Cipher B coming on down. Rump. Money flow coming on down. Rump. 12 minute time frame. We take a look. What do we see? Bearish divergences out the wazoo. Alright, they're coming out the wazoo. We look inside the wazoo, and what is coming out of it? Bearish divergence. Money flow, momentum getting lower. Alright, look at this. Money flow coming down. Momentum coming down. We got a really nice wick into the level and a good old-fashioned fake out. And on top of that, who is rearing his ugly head on the daily market Cipher B? None other than El Punto Rojo. El Punto Rojo, the Mexican gangster trying to smuggle those purple candles down below the levels of support and resistance. And until Trump turns Mexico and Canada into the United States, those borders are still going to be a place where El Punto Rojo is going to try and smuggle those dang purple candles down below. And here's the thing, when I look at this chart on Bitcoin, I do have to say, you know, overall, I have to be a little bit bullish here, all right? Here's my take. I'm gonna come out and give you my take. Because we've got a nice bullish environment down here, and because we're getting a money flow cross from the purple into the blue, I think we are in for a pump and dump scenario. All right? I think we're in for a pump and dump scenario. Potentially taking out lots of the liquidity that we got on the way up ever since Thursday, January 1st, 2026. All right? Come on down. Maybe toward yearly open, maybe take the liquidity, and then we can get a pump. Now, if we come down to these levels, guys, we will have bullish divergences. All right? The good old-fashioned uneven butt cheek pattern. Skinny on the right side, big on the left side. Left side is full of ravioli waiting to squeeze the cheese from the knees. Baby, please give me those left cheeks. Bullish divergence, and of course, we will also have the green dot printing, aka El Punto Verde, the arch nemesis of El Punto Rojo, trying to smuggle the blue candles back above the support, the resistance. Now we take a look at the range here, right? We're gonna pull the range all the way across, and you can see we're currently holding this POC of the range. If we lose it, guess what? Yeah, we're probably gonna get that drop down towards the bottom of the range. I mean, quite simple. Really is quite simple. And because of the bullishness here, I think we can get another push to the upside. Now, I'm still looking at this range, guys. as bullish because of our weekly time frame. Is it possible that this is all we got? It is possible, but personally, I don't think so. I think we're actually going to see a bigger breakout here. Even if we have to come all the way down toward the low of the range, I do think we're going to see a breakout of this chunk of price action right here, heading up towards 110, 113,000 before another face-melting drop to the downside, you know, for the next few minute. Well, who knows? Who knows? All right, make sure to smash up the likes, guys. Let's see who we have in the chat right now. First of all, he says, isn't that a dump and pump? Anon 219. Would love to close the CME gap. Yeah, for sure. Hair is bearish, says John Blake. 88,250. I'm buying in on that move down. Wow, you're improving your Spanish. Gracias, mi amigo. Shout out to the 9 Jedi 9. Not a pump and dump. Recovery is now. BYND is trying to squeeze. Shout out to Steak Sauce in the chat. Shout out to Crispy209. Shout out to Real Cipher Rider. It's a mega cup and handle on the daily. Let's check that out. A mega cup and handle on the daily. Maybe, right? Maybe. January 1st. Yeah, the 1st of January. Yeah, January 1st. Yeah. And it's currently January 7th. It's the 7th of January. 7 days after January 1st. What is the wazoo and why is everything coming out of it? Well, didn't you take human anatomy class, my friend? Shout out to John Shanks. He says, what up, Jason? If you don't mind me doing a favor. I don't know, man. I can't get into drama with other YouTubers, alright? I can't do it, my man. You took a dump on your hair. Okay, so people say, some people like my hair, some people hate my hair. Alright. It is what it is with the hair, guys. Alright, hair looks solid, says Liberty and Trust. That's what's up. Splashfire Films, he likes the hair. Alright. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. He says hello. Hello to you. Quit being show up and get a real Shure mic. Is that what people use, the Shure mics? I don't know. I don't think it's the mic that's the issue, guys. I think I'm just retarded. Okay? He's moving into Venezuela. Yeah, there's stuff going on with Venezuela. I hear stuff. I don't know really what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm in a phase of life where I do not give a you-know-what about anything outside of my own little bubble right now. I do not care. I don't care what's happening in the world at all. Alright? Life goes on. Nations rise and fall. People are born and people die. We never know when our time is. The only thing we should worry about is trusting the Lord, seeking the Lord, staying close to Him, keeping our face down into the ground, doing the business we have to do, and I have no idea what the heck is going on in the world. And I will care eventually. I go through phases. Right now I'm in a phase of I do not care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay? Did Trump do something? I don't know. Who cares? The only thing I care about is this Bitcoin price action and my haircut. Alright, now we are trying to get a bounce from this POC right now. Let's take a look at the good old-fashioned Fear and Greed Index. Alright? Wow. Wow. What the heck? What in the world am I looking at? Right now. This is literally the craziest advertisement I've ever seen in my life. I feel like I shouldn't look at that. Every time I come onto this channel, this Fear and Greed Index, I feel like there's an advertisement that I shouldn't look at, alright? The Fear and Greed Index is now in fear. Alright? That is not so bad. We were in extreme fear. Now we're coming back into the neutral. Isn't that funny? When we're down at the bottom of the range, we're in extreme fear. When we're at the top of the range, we're in less fear. But we're currently finding some resistance at the top of the range. Now that leads us to some interesting stories in the news, alright? First of all, according to Economic Times, the crypto market trades mixed. All right, we're mixed sentiment here. Bitcoin nears 92.8, almost 93K. In fact, this article is unaware of the fact that we hit 94.5. All right, but this was from today. Ethereum remains above 3,200. The crypto market traded mixed, with Bitcoin near 92.8 and Ethereum above 3,200 amid range-bound action. While major altcoins show divergent moves, analysts say resilience above key support suggests structural strength. All right, structural strength. Did you hear that? Structural strength. So essentially, according to this article, crypto is not bearish or bullish. Some assets are stronger, some assets are weaker, leading to mixed signals. And some analysts are noting that staying above key prices suggests underlying resilience and sustained investor confidence, even amidst volatility. All of that basically to say, these people have no idea what they're talking about. They're saying, if the price doesn't dump, that's good. That's literally what this article says, all right? The headline should be, if the price doesn't dump, that's good. And nobody really knows what's going on. No one knows what's going on. If the price doesn't dump, that's good. All right, this is the news right now. If the price doesn't dump, that's good. And nobody's really sure what's going to happen. That's what the article says. They have a lot of fancy words to basically say that. All right. Plus, is this even legal? All right, is this even legal? I don't know. And Tom Cruise's daughter, my goodness, hands down the most you know what. All right, the most you know what. So that's in the news. Now, something else interesting. According to one analyst, Bitcoin and broader crypto markets have bottomed. Now, I think this is interesting. I do think this is interesting. I'll tell you why an article like this is interesting. When you see, for example, here's what I think is interesting. Historically speaking, in the 4-year cycle, we are at a period of time where for the next few months, sideways and down is the direction. All right. We are akin right now, in my opinion, to right around here. All right. Right around here in the 4-year cycle. Okay. Now, we're seeing articles on Yahoo Finance that the crypto markets have bottomed. Now, historically speaking, when news outlets like Yahoo talk about the price bottoming, that's probably a bearish sign. All right, that's probably a bearish sign. Especially when we consider the fact that, well, I mean, we've broken down from major support, right? Broken down from major support. We have high time frame bearish divergences. And we've been trying to hold here now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, guys. Isn't that crazy? 9 weeks. And we haven't seen like a big bounce. We haven't seen anything crazy. We've just seen consolidation. Is it accumulation? I think it is accumulation. But nonetheless, this is not necessarily showing signs that we have bottomed, right? In my opinion, this is showing the beginning of a downtrend. Just me. When I see Yahoo Finance say we bottomed, I mean, it makes me a little bit bearish. I'm not going to lie. All right? Makes me a little bit bearish. Now, something else I thought was quite interesting was this. All right? Let's check this out. I got to find the article, but this was interesting. Remember the whole Michael Saylor business that we've been kind of looking at for a while here? All right. Strategy rises as strategy shelves plans to exclude crypto treasury firms from indexes. All right. This is very important right now. We've been following the potentiality of MicroStrategy being delisted from trading indexes, specifically the Morgan Stanley index. And we've been talking about how this could trigger a domino effect that could essentially cause other indexes to delist MicroStrategy, which could cause billions of dollars of outflows from the stock MicroStrategy, which could lead to like a serious capitulation sell-off event in crypto. Okay, and by January 15th, they're set to make a decision about whether or not to remove MicroStrategy from these indexes. Well, it turns out that Morgan Stanley postponed its proposal to remove the digital asset treasury companies like MicroStrategy from its index, which avoids an immediate forced sell-off for MicroStrategy and probably Bitcoin. So it's been postponed. All right, the proposal has been postponed. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means it's not going to happen right now. So it's going to be revisited. So what this does at the very least is it kicks the can down the road. All right, we've been talking about the potential of a bear market bottom event where MicroStrategy has to sell Bitcoin or something drastic, right? We some kind of catalyst that will end the bear market and begin the bull market. And originally it was looking like this was going to happen in the middle of January, right? January 15th, which would be next week. But now it's postponed, which means we could see things kind of continue as we've been thinking they would, something like this. And then eventually, maybe it could happen right around the fall of 2026. Right to the 786 Fibonacci, where historically we end the bear market every single time, and then that would be the catalyst, the buy signal, to then enter into the next bull market. All right, thought that was interesting. It kicks the can down the road. In other words, the fact that the decision is not being made now, and of course, if they don't delist, then that's good, that's great, that's bullish. If they delist strategy from their index, that's very bearish for crypto in the short term, right? And so now looming in the future, in 2026, in what historically has been a period of sideways and down for crypto, is this potential decision to remove strategy from these trading indexes, which could line up perfectly with the 4-year cycle of the booms and the busts of Bitcoin. Now, of course, we're aware that the 4-year cycle might be broken, okay? If the 4-year cycle is broken, then it doesn't matter, right? Super cycle confirmed. This is the bottom we pump, all right? If the 4-year cycle is still intact, then we are probably going to see a move with a bottom between these two prices, all right? These two price points, this green box is going to be our bear market bottom right here. If you're buying Bitcoin in this box, you're doing yourself a favor, okay? If you're buying Bitcoin in this box, you are doing yourself a favor. And yeah, so imagine a situation where we have a slow, sideways, painful kind of move to the downside, and then eventually we get the MicroStrategy thing right around the fall of 2026, and then that sets us right off into a beautiful bull market after all these high time frame signals can seriously bottom, right? The weekly money flow can dip into the purple, right? We start to get some bullish divergence on the weekly, right? All signals say go in the midst of an ultimate bearish nightmare scenario for many crypto investors, right? That is something that we do need to keep in the back of our minds, y'all. Now, this brings me right back into the Bitcoin chart. A quick reminder, guys. The pumperoni is the code word for eggs today. If you want to get eggs in the Casper crew, pumperoni. Yeah, Michael Saylor will be the bear market villain. They're not being removed. They said it already. Okay, we'll see. Am I still waiting for a sub $70,000 Bitcoin before buying more on spot? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Dead cats can still be skinned in one of many ways. Shout out to Abjude in the house, baby. What's going on, Abjude? My man Abjude back in the house. It's a dead cat bounce. So, yeah, let's see what happens here. So, okay, let's get back to our Bitcoin chart right now. we've got ourselves on the weekly time frame. We got the bottom historically speaking. This gives us at least a 45% move to the upside, even in a bear market. We've had thus far about a 18% move to the upside. All right, I still think this has more upside. I think this range is going to break up. Even if we come all the way back down to the bottom, I still think it's going to break up before it breaks down again. All right, just because you can't have weekly momentum this bottom out without something like that happening. All right, currently right now on the daily time frame, so we're sandwiched, right? The 2-month is bearish, the weekly is bullish, but now our daily is flashing our first bear signal, which is our first momentum top, which will confirm in 6 hours. Our first momentum top after this big bottom. Okay, now not only is this a momentum top, this is technically speaking also, guys, a hidden bearish divergence. This could get bad. There's 2 ways to look at this. Way number 1 is this is a continuation pattern from the high, right? Way number 1 to look at this, let's just be very clear. All right, we are short in the Casper crew from the exact top setup given in real time. All right, also I'm in a short from yesterday's setup from the top of this local range. All right, but let's be very clear. There are multiple ways to look at this chart. Way number 1, and the very bearish way, is that the top is in, and this entire time, this whole struggle, right, is as much as we're going to get. This is now a hidden bearish divergence. A hidden bearish divergence is where the price makes a lower high and the momentum wave makes a higher high. All right. This has the potential to continue the trend to the downside, which essentially would give us another lower low. Okay. Let's be very clear about that. That is a potential. And as traders, right, we are looking for potential scenarios, right? We are not here to predict what is going to happen. We are here to prepare for various situations so that when those situations happen, we're not caught with our shorts down around our ankles, right? If we start to pump, right, we don't want to be caught with our short trades down around our ankles, right? We've already taken some profit. We've already secured our money. We've already managed our risk. The long trades that we're in from the setups given in real time in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we still are holding portions of them. We're ready for the pump. We've secured profits, right? 2,500, 35, plus another 3. So we're talking, $6,500, 6,500 secured. All right, we've made our money on the way up. We can't lose. All right, we've made our money on the shorts. We're prepared for whatever's going to happen. And in the Casper Crew, where we make the plans in advance, we're ready to execute no matter what happens over at jasoncaspertrading.com and click the link to join the best trading community in the world. If that wasn't a seamless shill for my paid community, I don't know what is. My goodness, I'm almost ready to click that link. Man. So there is the potential here for a very bearish scenario to happen. However, on the opposite side of that, if we are going to come down to some of these lows here, which it looks like we need to, right? This looks like it needs fixing. This parabola looks like we need to flush some of this stuff out before we can come up again. If this happens, guys, notice what the daily time frame will look like. Money flow will be crossing from the purple into the blue. Price will be making lower lows as the momentum waves are making higher lows. Again, giving us the bullish divergence uneven butt cheek pattern. So it would look very bullish if we came back down to this area. And in addition to that, if we take a look at the volume, right, we're coming back to the area, the value area low of the range, right? Locally speaking, Bitcoin is considered undervalued in this zone, just as locally speaking, Bitcoin is overvalued in this zone. So if we're coming to undervalued territory and we're printing bullish divergences, then we would expect that this would play to the upside given the environment of the weekly bottom that has confirmed a few weeks ago. All right, you guys tracking with me? Now, what else would we want to see down there? Not only would we want to see daily bullish divergences, we'd want to see money flow continuing to get higher on lower time frames as well. Ideally, we'd want to see bullish divergences on lower time frames as well. The 4 hour, the 1 hour, right? Let's look at the 1 hour right now. How does the 1 hour look? Again, I'm not here to predict anything, okay? Because that's not how I trade. I don't make predictions. I'm an if-then trader. Right now, the 1 hour definitely looks like it has room for the downside. The money flow is in the purple, okay? We see there's massive amounts of liquidity here. This could so easily get long squeezed. It's not even funny. It could happen in a day, all right? If we start to see a big move down, this gives us plenty of time for the 1 hour time frame to start to have our money flow curve back up. And plenty of time for the 1 hour to start to form bullish divergences, right? We get a big drop, we start to form a little range here, right? Form a range here, drop down for one last low, and then boom. Inverse Bart Simpson, literally the opposite of what happened here, right? We come to the top of the range, consolidate, boom, one up, then range, and then zoom, we start to drop through, right? Let me check on this real quick here. We are very close to key support now, potentially. But this is something that looks like it could very easily happen based on our daily, based on our 4 hour, based on our 1 hour, and we're extrapolating into the future what we would want the chart to look like in order to pull the trigger, all right? So that's kind of what we're waiting for here. And again, right now, I'd say our daily close is going to be quite important today. Because if the daily candle closes below this zone right here, in fact, let's close everything off the chart. It becomes very simple. We don't need any fancy tools. We have a support resistance flip right here. These previous highs, going all the way back to December 15th, all right? These previous highs, if the Bitcoin candle is closing below this green box, then the probabilities say we're coming way back down towards, let's call it $87,000, towards that area, right? 86 to 87,000 would be our next target. And the reason for that is because this is our support resistance flip, these wicks, right? It was resistance, 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 breakout. Now we're coming for the back test, all right? If this daily candle can't close, not good. There's no support here on the way down, right? There's really no support here on the way down until, if we just look at the volume of this mini range, till we're coming down to around the 87.7 point of control, down toward the 86.5 value area low. And so this would be our next target. It really is that simple. And so what we do is we just wait it out, right? So long as we're holding this level, I'd say it's perfectly fine to be in long trades that we've been in since, you know, the 22nd of December and the 15th of December, trades that we took in real time in the Casper crew. No reason to close, definitely take a partial. But if we close below this box, I'd say definitely make sure your profits are secured. Make sure you're booking something. And then wait until we come to this level. And when we're here, then we take a look at the chart and we ask ourselves one question. What do we see? Do we see this? If the answer is yes, we know what to do. If the answer is no, we don't see that. What do we see instead? This? We know we're being played. All right, we know we're being played. We know we're waiting for lower prices. All right, this is the most bearish picture I've ever seen in my life. All right, picture of me after graduating with my degree in trans non-carbon binary emission gender intersectionality studies. Very bearish. All right, let me tell you, I was $500,000 in debt after that degree. Couldn't get a job. Extremely bearish. All right, now if we lose this level here, then I say we're open to coming down to the bottom of the overall range, which is going to be right around here, around 80,005. And again, if we come down to 80,005, we have to think, what would things look like? They would look like this, all right? Even if money flows back purple again, it would be extremely bullish money flow. It would be extremely bullish momentum. And it would be basically the opposite of what we saw up here, right? We had a fake out of the range high, right up here. Fake out of the range high, and that resulted potentially in a move back down to the range low. Well, we could see the exact opposite. Fake out of the range low with bullish divergence, and that could be just a proper double bottom with bullish divergences, classic trade setup, to finally then let this weekly green dot play out. Because personally, I don't feel like the weekly green dot has played out yet. I think we could get another pump, catch people off guard. You know, we've had many weeks for people to be confused here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our 8th week of complete indecision. So people are getting chopped up. People don't know what's going on. People are confused. People are scared. People have their degrees in trans, non-carbon, binary emission, gender intersectionality, gender studies in Pakistan. And it's like, what is happening? Well, based on this green dot, I'll tell you, I feel like what's going to happen is after people get chopped, and this could just be a proper accumulation range, we could finally break out, hit some of these higher targets, 102, 108, 110, potentially, you guys know the scenarios, I've been talking about them for 8 weeks, and then we could have another dump to the downside, all right? That's my overall take on the chart right now. And if you want to be prepared and not scared, make sure to sign up to the VIP Casper crew, where we have 3 instructors doing the live trading multiple times a day. Also, guys, if you want to trade Bitcoin and altcoins, I'm trading on KCEX. Lowest fees in the game, baby. 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. I'm also trading on WEEX. Low fees. I'm trading on BLOFIN. And if you sign up to me, if you sign up to BLOFIN with my link, BLOFIN's giving anyone who signs up under me the lowest fees that BLOFIN offers, which is 0.02% market order. You cannot trade with that low fees on BLOFIN unless you sign up using the Jason Casper link. All right, I got a special deal with BLOFIN. All right, so make sure to check it out if you know how to trade. And if you don't know how to trade, don't check it out. But what you should do instead is check out how Paul Saladino stays lean and flexible naturally at 48. And then after that, you should check out the Jason Casper YouTube channel. Go to playlists and go to the Jason Casper free trading course and check out the free course, 18 sessions for free, how to become a confident, profitable trader. And after you know how to trade, then you can sign up on an exchange. All right. Now let's check out the Bitcoin price action. We are grinding to the downside right now. We're going to check out the order flow quickly. Let's go to the order flow chart, 15-minute. We are seeing some bearish CBD forming here locally. We're seeing longs open here, and yet the price is unable to make a higher high. All right, this is bearish CBD. We did not get a confirmed swing failure pattern of yesterday's low. And in my opinion, it looks like we want to have one more drop to the downside, potentially to come down to, we have some support levels just below, including the CME gap. All right, we go to the CME chart here, and you can see, let's go to our lower time frame on the CME. Futures chart, and we have our gap down here at around 90,500. It looks like, to me, Bitcoin wants to go and close this gap around 90,500. You can see on Friday, the futures chart closed around 90,500. We pump over the weekend, and now it looks like, based on some bearish CBD, that we want to come back down toward that area. All right, and hopefully when we come to the area, I don't want to scare you. I hope you don't get malaria from the area. But yeah, we got our CME gap down there, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we also might have something else down there. We got like a golden pocket around there too. You know, we got some stuff, right? We got some stuff. We got some stuff, all right? We got some stuff down there. And not only that, guys, but remember, this CME gap is very clearly a support resistance split, right? The CME gap is very clearly a support resistance flip. So we have these series of highs that's also now a CME gap, and you know, depending on how you want to pull the fib here, you could force a golden pocket to fit there depending on how you want to pull it, right? From this low that we made here on Friday, January 2nd, right? So I'd say, yeah, daily candle can't be closing below this level, otherwise we're coming way down. There's a potential of a bounce from here, of a basic breakout and back test on the Bitcoin chart. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to 8JR8. Shout out to Vikas Kumrai. Egg code is Pumperoni. That's right, guys. Shout out to Coffee and Relaxing. Dumperoni and cheese may be on the menu, friend, says Dave Hagen. Shout out to Splashfire Films in the house. There a time frame of when we may hit that lower level? Nope. It could happen whenever, right? Is it normal that I look for more shorts and longs? Yes, it's normal. It's not something I do on purpose, but when I short, I feel more confident. Yeah, no, that's totally normal. Usually people have a bias to trades that they're looking for more. It just naturally comes. Yeah, that's totally normal. So, not a good time to be bearish. Don't forget the fake out before the breakout thing. Shout out to Abjude. He says, what I did in October, I restarted today. 10th of October repeats in 2 weeks. All right, Abjude, the one responsible for the October 10th dump, is saying that he's going to cause it again, all right? Shout out to Daryl Oofton. Shout out to the Clip Colt. Shout out to Spicy Noodles. Do we have any compliments at the GP? Which GP are we talking about? Paul Saladino. Dang, he quit Keto Carnivore. Yeah, he quit Keto and Carnivore. That's because Keto and Carnivore is great if you have health problems, but if you're healthy, I mean, I just feel like it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. But what do I know? What do I know? All right? I don't know anything. Shout out to the BBL hotline. Guys, real quick, all right? I have to pee. I drank a lot of water before the stream. Keep an eye on the trades. I'll be right back. All right, we back, baby. We back in action, baby. All right. The 2026 bear market has begun. Is the Trump speech done? I'm not sure. You're serious about the 10th of October. You sold all your spot today. Today. You sold at 91K. Interesting. Pee jugger didn't happen. I didn't pee in the jug. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. I'm sorry. Saturated fat literally makes your arteries go sick. They test it in a petri dish. Put saturated fat on the arterial wall and rev up the blood pressure. Oils, too, especially soybean. Be careful. Be careful, guys. All you keto guys out there, don't eat that saturated fat. All right, it'll clog up your arteries in a petri dish. All right, you've been warned. Shout out to Jawfeel OG. He says, been following you since 2021. Love your lives and how much you truly rely on God, I guess. You pray that the Lord continues to shine light. I pray the same for you, Jawfeel. May you grow in your knowledge and love of the Lord. What could Orange Man do or say that wouldn't cause dumpage? That's a good question. All right, that's a good question. Let's come back to the order flow, then we'll take a look at some altcoins. So right now, here's what the order flow is telling us. We have longs opening up. All right, we've got longs opening up here. You can see over time, open interest increase, CBD increase, showing longs opening over time. They're unable to push the price up. All right, we have a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, as the CBD continues to increase locally. Within this consolidation, this does look a little bearish. I think we're going to go for the gap. All right, We're going to go for the gap. Let's check out ETH. Wow. Look at ETH. Let's start on the weekly with ETH. Again, I do have to say that based on the ETH's weekly double bottom, I expect this range to break to the upside at some point. Whether we get a dump to make a higher low or we take the low, I do expect that this consolidation is going to break up before another move to the downside. And look at how beautiful, this support resistance flip is. This squeeze target at the golden pocket right at $4,000, historic resistance. Let's go to our daily time frame. Just like Bitcoin, guys, ETH is starting to print a daily top. All right, so I think we can say, based on the chart right now, based on where we're at, it looks like we are in for some downside before a bounce. And just like Bitcoin, ETH has left behind lots of disgusting looking squeezable liquidity over the holiday. All right, we're talking from Christmas until our current day. It looks like we could get a quick wick, nice and slick, and then our good friend Rick, real quick, will open the long trade, and those profits will stick. You know, Rick the Stick. Shout out to Rick the Stick, by the way. Yeah, so basically, here's the deal with ETH. I really feel in my bones that we're in Chop City, and eventually the long side will win out, and then this will be a bull trap, which will result in more downside. That's how I feel. I feel the same for ETH and Bitcoin right now. I feel like consolidation, the range will break to the upside, and consolidation, remember, if you're a day trader, if you're scalping this on leverage, remember, consolidation, guys, means we're trading this range. All right, this is not me telling you to long on leverage here. We're talking potentially a 20% drop within the consolidation, right? I'm not saying for sure that's going to happen. I'm saying the idea I have is not invalidated even in the event of a 20% drop, right? This is a high time frame. We're on the weekly right now, right? The weekly right now, we're looking at this as a zone of consolidation, all right? Based on our daily, since we're at the top of the zone of consolidation, we need to be open for a drop to fix all that gross holiday liquidity, and then that weekly can play out and we can break out, right? After the break, I would expect another move to the downside, just based on our higher term time frame bias. All right, the daily's topping out here. We just started confirming. We just started printing a red dot. We got 5.5 hours until Ethereum red dot confirms. And again, let's just extrapolate into the future what market Cipher B would look like if we took the lows from the holiday. Fast move down, we would have extremely bullish divergence on the daily. We would have extremely bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Money flow going from purple into thick blue on the 4-hour, right? It would look pretty nice if we gave all that back quickly and then reverse, right? It would look pretty nice on Ethereum. Let's not forget also our ETH Bitcoin chart, all right? ETH versus Bitcoin on Binance. We have some local bearish div here. Things looking pretty good here too. I have to say, like, you know, let's remember the environment here for Ethereum against Bitcoin. Big squeeze potential here to see Ethereum outperform Bitcoin, even in a bear market, right? Big bounce from the value area low, break out of the point of control, back test of the point of control. And as we're back testing the point of control, what are we seeing on Market Cipher? Oh, look, rounded bottom, money flow starting to curve up, right? Looks nice, looks pretty nice. I'd say that when these ranges break up, the Ethereum and Bitcoin range, that Ethereum could far outperform Bitcoin when that happens. In fact, look, I'm not calling for an Ethereum all-time high, but I just am saying that it would not be hard for ETH to get a new all-time high and take this high out, because all of this is very squeezable looking. And you know how ETH loves to run when she runs. She does not respect golden pockets. All right, ETH does not respect golden pockets. All right, she really doesn't. The only golden pocket that ETH respected of recent was this one here. That's pretty rare for ETH. Usually she doesn't respect the golden pockets like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see one more all-time high in ETH. You know, I'm not calling for it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying long now because we're hitting all-time highs. I'm saying I'm thinking we hit 4,000 before a drop. But you know, when she starts running, you know, who's to say we don't do this, right? Bull flag it and then drop, right? We see that a lot on ETH. We see that a lot on ETH, like right here, right? Pump up, bull flag it, bam, one last pop, right? That happens a lot on ETH. So Ethereum gets these runs that never end. They just keep on pumping, baby. They just keep on pumping. Let's take a look quickly now at our Bitcoin dominance. Okay, on the day, Bitcoin dominance is coming on down here. A little bit on the week. The weekly looks like more downside on Bitcoin dominance. Remember, if Bitcoin can hold support, meaning the range we're in, we would prefer to see Bitcoin dominance stagnate and or come down so that we could see some of these altcoins realize some of those gains to the upside. Let's take a look at altcoin dominance. All right, yeah, so this is really what we would want to see here, like to see ETH get a squeeze, to see XRP and Solana and Chainlink get a squeeze. We want to see Bitcoin hold support. We want to see Bitcoin dominance sideways and down. We want to see these big bottoms on altcoin dominance, right? Confirmed bottom altcoin dominance, confirmed bottom altcoin dominance, confirmed bottom altcoin dominance leads to some big pumps to the upside. All right. So yeah, overall, I have to say my bias for all of this is on the very high term. We're talking on a 2 monthly time frame. I believe we are in for some months of sideways and down. As we go to the medium time frames like the weekly, I'm looking for a move up. When we come down lower to the daily, I'm looking for a dump before that move up, right? So I would expect something like this, very similar on all these charts, right? This is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for a move down before a move up, before a move down. And this is based on all our time frames going from the 2 month all the way down to the daily and below. Let's see if I am correct in my analysis. We'll know in the coming weeks and months. Let's check out what Bitcoin's trying to do once again here. I feel like we're gonna get a breakdown. You know? I feel like we're gonna get a breakdown here. Got some of that bearishness popping up. Gotta give a major shout to our super chat. He says, pump song, please. You know, I don't know if today's a good day for a pump song, man. I don't know if today's a good day for the pump song, Marcuso Caballero. But because you gave me super chat, the next time we do the pump song, it will be an honor of you. Alright? It will be an honor of you. Shout out to Crypto Coons, holding it down as a mod. God bless you, man. I nailed the XRP call at $2.40. Was that one of my calls? I don't even know. I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about coming up to the POC for getting a retracement. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is actually happening perfectly according to plan, right? Now we can pull our fib to this area and say, honestly, yeah, we'd still be looking for a move back down, like to around $2 for this bullishness to continue, you know? This is the egg code, guys. If you're not familiar with eggs, in the Casper Crew Discord, we use eggs as currency to get stuff, all right? To get stuff. Like prizes. You know, every single week we have prizes that you can enter to win money. All right, these are our last winners here. We give away hundreds of dollars every week. You can get eggs in the Discord by getting the egg drop. I mean, every day you just go in, claim your eggs. All right, if you're VIP, you get way more eggs than not VIP. All right, go to quests, and right now you can click claim and type in Pumperoni. And you will get eggs to enter these prizes. All right, we do games pretty much every single day in the Casper crew to get eggs, and these eggs are redeemable for cash prizes. Of course, in the Casper crew, this is the game day. Will be on January 30th, a Friday at 2 p.m. where we give away thousands of dollars, plus have a really fun time. Make sure to check it out. All right. JasonCasperTrading.com. Yeah, it's not time for the pump song yet, guys. All right, not quite yet. Shout out to the real King Solomon. God bless you, my bro. God bless you, my bro. Bitcoin is pimping. Someone says Bitcoin pimping. Someone says Bitcoin dimping. Dimping and pimping. Bitcoin dimping, Bitcoin pimping. Short squeezing coming. Maybe it is time for the pump song. All right. Maybe it is time for the pump song. This will be an epic pump song. All right. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Check 1, check 2, check 3. I don't have a plunger. I don't have a plunger. What are we going to do? It doesn't look very pumpy to me, I'll be honest, but we're going to do the pump song anyway. Shout out to OX Hall. Look at render. Yeah, we can look at render. Yeah, wait for the gap. That's what I say too. That's what I say too. Let's go! Here we go, baby. It better work. Yeah. We gotta use the water bottle for a mic. It's working already, baby. Send you a message in Discord. Uh-oh. It's not working, guys. All right, baby. Shout out to 001 Sequoia. Oh no, I'm lip syncing. This is Britney Spears on Saturday Night Live. Where's the stop loss? There is no stop loss. There's no stop loss, baby. Here we go. This is our last chance to pump the Bitcoin price straight to 100K, baby. Here we go. We're gonna sometimes it does have a delayed effect. Let's not forget about the delayed effect, guys. Let's not forget about the delayed effect. We have to take a look at render in the super chat. We do. But is it going to work? It looks like it's working. Yeah. Hey yo, I apologize, but you know I gotta ask why. Are we gonna dump or pump a surprise? Open up your eyes, got the burgers and fries like McDonald's. I'll chop you right down to size, cause we got a question. Is it gonna work? Are we gonna pump or will I get hurt? I got my face grounded down into the dirt, looking around like I'm about to squirt the water from your shoulder, coming up like it's a boulder in the mountaintop, looking like the fire cold smolder. It's so hot, you touch it, you know you get burned. Hey yo, J. Casper, haven't you heard that? We're the best trader in the dang world. Purple and blue candles make you my girl. Cause you know when we get the nice quick Bitcoin price back to her old tricks, sit back and listen to J. Casper spit. Cause you know we're taking profits ultra quick. We get the nice entry profits on lock. You never show the losses, you know we never stop, yeah. Now let me give you the sauce. Jason always in the green, never a loss. Trading so good, you know I'm the boss. Sit back, relax, I'll give you a toss. We're tossing the ball through the field. Bitcoin price, baby, making all the yields. Looking out, cause you know we wanna take the teal. Like the color blue, you know it's got the feels. We got the tank top on the treadmill every day. Coming back to the treadmill just to get paid. Cause we're walking uphill on the treadmill, outside in the garden digging with the spades. Then we rock it, tippy top it, never drop it like the Marvin Makers, coming down like Sonic and Robotnik. Then you stop it, reverse it, just top it, spot it, then you drop it. Blue candles never stop it. Cause once we pump up, we go through resistance. Bitcoin outbreaks to the distance. Get in the car, fire all pistons. J. Casper, you know you can't kiss this, to miss this. Like it's Christmas, open up the presents. You know you wanna diss this. Yeah, cause we got the diss track. Bitcoin price about to come back. We got the blue and purple candles on black. Don't mess with me, don't talk smack. Cause you know when we make the profits, Bitcoin pump up, can you spot it? Yeah, right to the next golden pocket. Got the triangle like a nice locket with the picture and the clock it like the Glock, you know we sock it, rocket, clock it. Then we go bop, 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 dock it, ka-ching. Making profits all day. In the closet, in the bathroom, getting paid. Trading on the toilet and I got so much pain. Cause my legs are asleep, you know it ain't strange. Yeah. Oh man, okay. So, what can we say? What can we even say? We gotta take a look at render for our friend. That's what we gotta do. I think it's render. Let's check it out. Yeah, render. All right, let's see here. So, nice weekly move up, nice weekly bottom on MCB. Do we have any other exchanges with more history? Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah, so look, we're coming down to historic resistance. We got a nice weekly bottom. Technically speaking, it's not a bull div, but actually, technically speaking, that is a bull div. Let's go to our 5-day. Decent on the 5-day, honestly. So here's the deal. We are coming back to resistance right here. I would say until we can break this level, unfortunately, we don't have a true sign of strength here, right? That's the unfortunate reality. it's really not a sign of strength until we do this, right? Take it off log scale. This is what we're talking about, right? A breakout and a backtest of the support resistance flip. That's our first actual sign of strength. Anything before that level, we are being aggressive. We're being very aggressive. We just had a short squeeze, right? We didn't even fill the wick. We're being aggressive. We haven't necessarily changed market structure in a real sense, right? Just this disgusting stuff. So I would say, like, if we're looking for a real aggressive entry, look like everything else, looks like you want to pull back, I would then be looking in this zone and say, you know what? This area here would be nice for an aggressive higher low, right? That would be nice for an aggressive higher low. Give us some time to do this. We dance on line with this low, honestly. It would be aggressive. That's aggressive. Less aggressive is wait for an actual break, back test of this, and then stop and go under this low, and then we can target back to at least this area for the top of this local range here, right? And then we could target higher. But at first, I would be looking for something like this for an actual sign of strength, right? Break this level, back test it, and then come up to here, right? That would give us entry, stop loss, target. We flip this, then we could say, why not go for the top of the overall? But at least this for now, right? This is our local range here, right? So a break back inside the local range means likely to come to the top of the local range. That's a legit setup right there. All right. All right. Now, I do not invest in render. I don't know. You know, this is not financial advice. Just based on the technicals, if I was trading it, that's what I look for. All right, guys, I got to head out. God bless you all in Jesus' name. I will see you guys later. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Peace.